I used to work on an assembly line, on my feet for 4 hour stretches and one 15-minute break during the shift, blowing out my shoulder for minimum wage. Why am I telling you this? Because this is the life that so many Americans are fighting to preserve. Imagine you're walking through a factory in 2035. There are no humans in sight, perfectly synchronized robotic arms, assembling cars, packaging goods, and working 24/7 without a single break. No sore backs, bad bosses, or a bad habit of stuffing food down my throat as fast as I can without throwing up.
Ooh, one down.
So, let's talk about why handing factories over to robots isn't just good for business, it's good for everyone. Right now, factory automation is already well underway. Foxconn, the company that assembles iPhones, has replaced thousands of workers with robots. Tesla's Gigafactories, 75% automated and growing. And Amazon is adding 1,000 new robots a day into its warehouse. This isn't new. Remember the Industrial Revolution? The steam engine put thousands of manual laborers out of work. The assembly line, it cut the need for skilled craftsmen, and yet society didn't collapse. We're still here. Just like before, people are panicking. Robots are stealing our jobs. But are they really? Or are they just taking the jobs humans shouldn't want in the first place?
As of 2022, Amazon employed about 36% of warehouse workers in the U.S., a workforce that often complains about the injury risk of working to get packages to customers in 2 days or less, according to OSHA. Amazon says the safety of its employees is its top priority.
I just really feel this is Amazon's attempt to focus their attention away from those of us that have been injured and are fighting to get medical care and fair wages and safer working conditions. I wish they would spend their money in just making it a safer place to work for the rest of us, those of us that need jobs and need a paycheck, rather than coming up with technology that could push some of us out the door.
What if robots take over all factory jobs and millions of workers are left unemployed? Sure, in the short term, some people will lose their jobs. But guess what? That already happens all the time. In 1950, 30% of Americans worked in manufacturing. Today, less than 8%. In the early 2000s, US factories lost 5 million jobs, not because of robots, but because companies offshored them to countries with cheaper labor. What if instead of disappearing, jobs just change? This has always been the pattern. When agriculture mechanized, farm jobs dropped, but new jobs in food processing, transportation, and logistics emerged. When ATMs came along, bank teller jobs didn't vanish. Banks just shifted tellers into customer service and financial advising. Now, with factory automation, we'll see a shift toward robot maintenance, AI oversight, and system engineering. Would you rather assemble car parts for 10 hours straight, or manage the robots that do it for you? Scenario 3, a world without low-wage factory work. Now, here's a wild thought. What if factory jobs disappearing was actually a good thing? Like I said, factory work is brutal. Long hours, high injury rates, repetitive soul-crushing tasks. Why are we so determined to protect jobs that exploit people when we could free humans up for better work? The idea that people need to do factory work to survive is outdated. Instead of fighting robots, why not fight for higher wages in emerging industries? This isn't just a factory problem. Every major technological leap has always triggered the same debate. The printing press, 1440s. What about the scribes? The steam engine. What about the horse-drawn carriage drivers? The internet. What about bookstore clerks? Each time, people feared job losses. Each time, new industries exploded instead. And today, automation is just another step in the same pattern. But this time, the real problem isn't automation itself. It's whether our economy can keep up. Historically, when jobs disappeared, new jobs popped up fast enough to replace them. But now, technology is accelerating, and our systems aren't built for rapid job shifts. The real question isn't should robots take factory jobs. It's how do we transition workers fast enough? We have two choices. Invest in retraining programs and education so workers can shift to AI-driven industries, like solar panel installation, wind turbine maintenance, and smart grid operations. Many are union-backed with strong job security. keep pretending factory jobs are sacred until the economy leaves workers behind. The key for workers is transitioning from repetitive labor to roles that involve oversight, maintenance, and collaboration with AI and automation. The ethical debate. Of course, there's an ethical side to all of this. Corporate greed versus social responsibility. If companies automate everything, they should reinvest in worker retraining. But will they? Not unless they have to. The myth of humans versus robots. Robots don't steal jobs. Companies make decisions about who benefits from automation. If automation is inevitable, and it is, the real battle is about who profits from it. And lastly, the universal basic income question. If robots take all factory jobs, do we need a safety net like UBI? Some argue that with robots handling production, wealth should be redistributed to ensure humans still have opportunities.
So the way we fund this universal basic income is that we look up and see who's winning in an era of incredible innovations. Amazon, Google, Facebook, Uber. And then you look closer and you see Amazon paid literally zero in taxes in 2018. How is that possible? How could $1 trillion tech company pay less in federal taxes than you or your parents? And so the way we fund the freedom dividend is we join every other advanced economy in the world and have a value-added tax that then gives the American public a tiny slice of every Amazon sale, every Google search, every Facebook ad, every robot truck mile, and returns it to your pockets. And there is one state that's had a dividend for almost 40 years where everyone in that state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. Do you know what state that is? It's Alaska. And Alaska funds it with oil money. And what I'm saying to you is that technology is the oil of the 21st century, and what they're doing for Alaskans with oil money, we can do for all Americans with technology money.
Again, robots aren't the enemy. Short-sighted economic policies are. Let's sum this up. Robots will take all factory jobs. And honestly, they should. But instead of clinging to dying jobs, we should focus on creating better ones. Automation is inevitable. The real choice is whether we fight for a system that makes it work for everyone. What do you think? Are robots the villains here, or is our economic system the real issue? Should companies be required to fund worker retraining, or should we let the free market sort it out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're curious about what's next in the world of automation, subscribe so you don't miss out.